got a few problems sent to us.
Yeah.
And we will go ahead and go over those. The first one is review question number 63, on line number 6. Now I want you to look at how I do this. This up here tells you what it looks like in the book. Now when we get into 1.1 and 1.2, it'll say 1.1 and then number 63. So that means it looks like number 63 in the book. Okay? That number is the book number. This number is the online number. So everybody's number 6 on your online homework looks like this question. Okay? So let's go ahead and pull up the question. And it says...
Sir?
Yes.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but our screen is not working. We cannot see you and what you're doing on your screen right now.
Thank you for interacting. I appreciate that. Did y'all take a vote, or did just everybody just sit there until you finally decided to say something? I thought it was the latter. Squeaky door gets grease. Y'all gonna figure that out before it's over with. Thank you. So, what I'll do is I'm going to remove Pendleton and bring you back in, okay? Wait a minute.
Alrighty.
How about now? Well, no, I'm going to bring you back in. And when you pull it up, it should say, do you want to accept the presentation? And it needs to say that, okay? So I'm going to remove you and bring you back in. Please let it be able to bring you back in, please. Okay, look for that. Accept. It should, do you want to accept, or can you see my white screen? Pendleton?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on it.
They're frozen. Okay, now they went. Okay. All right, they're moving here, but you can't see them here. Huh. Well, we'll take what we can get. Okay, now let me go ahead and tell you all this. Where is the remote control for the projector? It's a white remote control. Do y'all see it anywhere? Get that remote control and turn around behind you. Click the blue button and turn the projector on. The light should come on. Now, I can't believe that people teach and don't set up the room. So, anyway, we're at Tri-County Tech. So, now you need to take that whiteboard screen when it comes up. Whoever's running the mouse, you move the whiteboard screen over to the whiteboard. Okay. As soon as it comes up, it should be coming up right about now. Look over there on the whiteboard and see if it's coming up. Is it coming up? Okay. Yeah. Is it got the whiteboard on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Hit the escape button on the remote so that message will go away. ESC.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. Now, look beside my picture. See where my picture is on the screen in front of you? There's a white arrow to the right of my picture. Click on that white arrow. You got to look for it. It's hard to find.
Go back. It's right.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
On the right side. Okay, now drag that over to the right screen over there and make it big, and therefore you can, there. That's the way it's supposed to be set up.
We're frozen.
Oh, now we're frozen.
No, it's fine. Or I'm really slow.
Who's frozen?
We are.
Okay, well y'all know what y'all look like. Y'all doing good here, so we'll let y'all, if y'all want to go look in the mirror, y'all can go look in the mirror, okay? All right, we're going to take y'all because y'all are moving fine here, and that's all that matters. Miss Whiten, can you see everything?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so here is a problem that has been sent Is this a test question? Yes, 100% test question right here. Let's use our distributive law. Now, we did review the distributive law, correct? The other day, did we review? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to distribute this negative 1y and this positive 6y squared. We're going to distribute both of them. I'm going to rewrite this so you can see it. Okay? It says y times, or negative y, times y squared minus 7 plus 6y squared times 4y minus 5. And I'm just going to take my handy dandy white or red, and I'm going to change this to a negative 1y, and I'm going to put this positive 6y in red because we're going to distribute this, and we're going to distribute this. And that's 1 to the first power, and this is 1 to the, or y to the first power. So if you haven't done this, go ahead and distribute that. Now, what is negative 1 times positive 1? Negative 1, y to the third, minus, plus, be a plus, because negative times negative, plus 7y, plus 24, y to the third, minus 30y squared. And whenever you distribute, what do you do after you distribute? Combine what?
All right terms.
Combine like terms. We need a third. There's a third. Oops. And you owe somebody $1, you have 24, you have 23. And then minus 30y squared plus 7y. That should be your answer. Now you don't have to have this plus out here. You can erase that plus, but it doesn't matter. You can't mark it wrong. There we go. So that should be your answer. Now if one person sent that in, then probably several of you that had that question. So, okay, Pendleton went out. I don't know what's wrong with Pendleton. Okay, Pendleton, I'm going to bring you in one more time, and let's see, third time's a charm, okay?
Okay.
I see y'all fine on the bottom screen, but y'all have to keep talking, and y'all not going to do that, so I might as well just hit remove and bring you back in. Let's see how that does. There they are, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. All right, so here we go. Let's type in 3 because I ain't going to type all that in because it takes up class time. So I'm going to hit 3. It says I need to go to McDonald's. 3, I'm a loser.
Go to McDonald's.
And final answer, 3. And let's see what they got. 23y cubed minus 30y squared plus 7y. So I must know what I'm talking about. Wow. So hopefully you feel good about yourself. Everybody good?
Yes, sir.
Next question. Let's get rid of this guy. Next question. Let's hit delete. Next question. This is review question 3, number 13 in the book, number 8 online. Yes, this is a test question. 4-term polynomial. There's 2 types of 4-term polynomials. There's the 3x1 and the 2x2. This one does not have a lot of perfect squares, so it's the 2x2. When you see a lot of perfect squares, it might be a 3 by 1. But since this one does not have a lot of perfect squares, it is a 2 by 2. 15 ST plus 10T minus 3S minus 2. Group the first two and the last two. Now I want each of you to factor out a common term with both of them. And the second one, you might have to factor out a negative because you want it to match. And we'll talk about that in just a second. I can't remember. I did the same review with y'all with 109 yesterday, the other day. So I think I covered this. I'm not sure if I did or not. I know I covered 109. So what's in common with 15ST? 5T. So I'm going to pull out a 5T here. And that's going to leave me with 3S plus what? Plus 2. What's in common with negative 3S and negative 2? Negative 1. And that gives me 3S what? Plus 2. These two match. Is that supposed to happen? Yes. If it doesn't happen, one of two things happen. What? One is prime, and you can't factor it. Or two, you did something what? Wrong. And usually it's the second one, or the latter, and you didn't factor out a negative one, you factored out a positive one. And that's why it doesn't match. Okay? So, 2x plus 3x is equal to 5x. You just bring the x down. You are subtracting. You are not multiplying. This is subtraction right here. So it's just like 5x minus 2x. 5x minus 2x is not 3x squared. 5x minus 2x is 3x. So 5t minus 1, you write that down. Oh, you can't subtract apples and oranges, so you just write it down. 5t minus 1, and then this is like the x, it just comes down. That's your answer. Question on that one? Y'all settle down up there in Pendleton. Y'all get too loud. Next question. Let's get rid of that one. This is number 3, 19/9. I feel like I'm doing y'all's review homework for you. But that's okay. That's what I'm here for. Okay, reverse FOIL. But first, try to factor out a common term first. I'm going to let y'all do this one. I'm going to write it on the board, and then you can do it. 3A squared. I'm going to let y'all do it. 3A squared plus 6A minus 72. All right, take a minute or two, and first thing you want to factor out a common term. Make it a little bit easier. And if you can't do it, just sit there and waller in self-pity. Consider yourself a loser, failure. Failure is actually a better word. And just consider quitting school. Self-improvement thing is overrated anyway, right?
You said this was going to be a test question.
Oh yeah, all these so far are test questions. When I get to one that's really stupid, I'll tell you. Factor out a 3, a squared plus what? 2a minus what? 24. Thank you. Now all you got to do is reverse FOIL. Draw two sets of parentheses. A goes here. A goes here. I'm so good. Now the tricky part. You got to find multiples of 24. So I'm going to start with 1 and 24. 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. 1 and 24, if we add or subtract those, that'll give us a 25 or a what? 23. I'm going to put 25 or 23. So we don't need that. We need a 2. So 2 and 12 will give us a 10 or a what? 10 or 14. That's not going to help us. 3 and 8 will give us an 11 or 5. And 4 and 6 will give us a 10 or a what?
2.
A 2. So 4. I love it when I do this. And then they go, why don't you put the 6 first? How many of you read from right to left? Masalama. How many of you have been reading from left to right since you were able to read? Since you were able to read, everybody. So why do you start putting 6 first? I never have understood that. So now you look at this sign. This sign right here says the biggest number of the outside and the inside has to be what? Positive. So therefore, I'll draw my outside and inside so I can remember. And which one's bigger, 6A or 4A? 6A, so you put a plus there. This sign tells us like or what? This says unlike, because how do you get the last term? You multiply 4 times 6. But to get a negative, you have to have unlike what? Signs. So if this one's positive, this one's got to be what? Negative. And you feel good about yourself. Yep. So you don't have to put smokestacks on your truck. Or wear sunglasses in the gym. That's even better. Girls, you ever see sunglasses in the gym? Run. Run as fast as you can. Away. Okay? Guys, you got the same indicator. It's pretty simple for guys though. Oompa Loompas. You ever seen a girl with an orange face and a white neck? Run. Fast as you can. Run. Because they will take a bat to your headlights. I'm going to put a 3 right here. And then you got the people that buy a $1,000 car and put $10,000 worth of tires on it. Run. Fast as you can. There we go. 3 times A minus 4 times A plus 6. That's what I got. So we feel good about ourselves.
Which, like, you put the A plus 6 and then A minus 4? Is that
Masalama.
Okay.
Masalama, you just read from right to left, that's all. Masalama.
Okay.
Masalama means go in peace. Dang old Arabic. I don't know what you're talking about. You're drunk. I don't talk about that. Have you ever met a veteran that runs their mouth about killing people? They usually haven't done anything. The ones that are quiet, those are the ones that have seen the most stuff. The ones that talk about how many people they killed, they were in the rear with the gear usually. I can't stand. Don't even get me started on that. And then they say they have post-traumatic stress syndrome, and they were in the back with the boots. Whatever. Don't even get me started. All right, shut up, Hubert. I'm trying to curb chasing rabbits. All right, this is review 3, number 3, question 7. I still feel like I'm doing y'all's homework. I feel like I'm doing all these in a row. Am I? Okay. You're going to say that. I know that's what you're going to say. Factor out the greatest common factor. Okay, that's all they want you to do here. When you factor out the greatest common factor, that means you pull out the biggest exponents. When you factor out a common factor, you pull out the biggest exponents, or the largest that you can pull out. All right, so I'm going to rewrite this for you. 2k squared m to the third plus 4k to the fifth m to the third minus 12k squared m to the fourth. Now let's look at the integer first. Okay, let's look at the numbers. 2, 4, and 12. That's you're going to pull out the smallest number, which would be 2. K to the second, K to the fifth, K to the second. K to the second is the biggest number that you can pull out there. M to the third, M to the third, M to the fourth. M to the third is the biggest you're going to pull out there. Parentheses. Now I want you to use your elementary division tables and your quotient rule, meaning that you're going to subtract the exponents because you're dividing, factoring is dividing, and I want you to finish the problem. Yep. These are all good questions. If you want to know the truth about it, I'm the lead instructor for Math 110, so all these are good questions because I picked Math 110, 111, and one of the calculuses. So what is 2 divided by 2? What's K to the second divided by K to the second?
1.
No, K to the 0, which is 1. You got it right. Messing with you. What's M to the third divided by M to the third?
M to 0.
Now, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm not doing it to piss you off. I'm not doing it to confuse you. Always remember to go back to the basics, especially when you're in calculus. When you're in calculus and you forget something or you get confused, always go back to the basics of derivatives and integrals or antiderivatives, and you will be able to work your way out of a bad spot. Why do I do that? Because when in doubt, subtract 2 minus 2, you get 0. So if you get confused, you say, okay, well, K to the 0 is 1. So that's going to come out to be 1. Yes, that's what I'm going to end up doing with it. All right. 4 divided by 2 is 2. What's K to the fifth divided by K to the second?
K to the third.
Good job. M to the third divided by M to the third. M to the 0. Minus, what's 12 divided? I'm hungry. God, I'm hungry. I went by and got some of those. I know I'm chasing a rabbit. I went by and got some of those things. I love gummy worms. I don't like gummy bears. I like gummy worms. I like little octopus too. I got those little octopi. They're good. But I am so hungry right now. I don't know why. All right, I'm through. 12 divided by 2 is what? 6. K to the second divided by K to the second is K to the 0. And M to the fourth divided by M to the third is what? Now, what type of person in this classroom would be doing those K to the 0s, M to the 0s, and the person that always sucks at this? All right? Because you're trying to fix what is what? Broken. All right, so if you still suck at it, then you might want to think about doing what I'm doing right here. Now, if you already know the material and you feel good about it, then you say to yourself, okay, I remember how to do this. I think I got it. And of course, if you wrote the book, then you need to just stay at home. All right, so let's go through and condense it. 2k squared, m to the third. What's 1 times 1 times 1? If you mess that up, you don't what? You don't tell anybody. Okay? 2 times k to the third times 1. And then 6 times 1 times m to the first. You see what I'm doing? I'm trying to make everything what? Simple. And there's no way I can make it any simpler than what I just did. And then you hit 3. And in college, in first world calculus, I got a former student who is did I tell y'all this story? About 4? I got a former student that is a engineer at Floor Daniel in Greenville, and we still communicate through Facebook. And sometimes I'll ask a question like, "What was these people thinking?" Or I'll ask a question on Facebook. I'll post a question, and he'll come back and say 4, because every problem we did in that calculus that semester, the answer came out to be 4. I mean, just about every problem we did, that's no joke, it's Calc 2 class. And every problem we did, it came out to be either a multiple of 4 or it came out to be a 4. And he wrote down, I think there was 36 problems that we did, and out of the 36 problems, 20 of them came out to be 4 or 8 or 16. I don't know. But every once in a while, I'll put something up and he'll come back and he'll just say 4. Yeah, well, that's supposed to be funny. Pendleton, settle down, please. Pendleton, do y'all do this in your other classes? Y'all just sit there like a tit on a bull? What was that? Woman just came in and grabbed something and left. What the hell? Well, just come in and grab something. What did she grab?
It was like a plastic bag with probably her stuff in it.
Oh, it's probably drugs. Okay. It's probably her pickup point. Yes, Hubert, I'm concerned. You said drugs in class. Somebody will complain. All right, let's see what we got. 2k squared m to the third, 1 plus 2k. Is that something or not? We've gotten every one of those right. I'm just amazed. Wait till we get to the hard stuff, then I'll start making mistakes. All right. Let's delete that one. And didn't we just do that one? Okay, I'm not doing it again. But you can write it down. I'll let you write it down if it's not the same one. Is that the same one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we'll delete it. She must have hit the button twice. It's so hard to send these questions. I mean, you have to hit one button and then you have to hit the other button. So this person really went out of their way. These people really went out of their way, did that extra work to send these questions. It's hard to do. This is number 417. This is review section 4, number 17 in the book, number 17 online. Test question. Now, what do you do on this complex rational expression?
Give up.
All what? Give up. There you go. I like that attitude. Give up and quit. Why? Because it looks too what? It looks too complicated. What do you do when you get one of these? Write this down. Complex rational expressions. Always factor everything. Always factor everything first. Factor out a common term if you can. Reverse FOIL. However you can factor out everything. Now those of you that can't see it, I'll write it down. Z squared minus 12z plus 35 over z squared plus z minus 30. Now that's two trinomials. I want you to factor those two trinomials with the reverse FOIL, and then you'll probably see something what? Well, what if I was to expand 8 over? Let me just write it down. What if I wanted to expand this? I would write 8 as 2 times 2 times 2, and I would write 6 as 2 times what? 3. And what happens to the 2's? They cancel, Hubert. Thank you, Pendleton. Okay? So, what happens after you factor? What will happen? Something will cancel. Thank you for the interaction. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to help you with the top one, and then you do the bottom one. Draw 2 sets of parentheses. Put a Z here, put a Z here. 1, 35, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what? 7. And then it wraps back around because you get to 6 and then 7, so it wraps back around and you're done. 1 and 35 will give us a 36 or a what? 34, Hubert. Thank you, class. A 5 and a 7 will give us 13 or what?
12.
Is it 12? Oh, 12 or 2? Oh, we want a 12. So which one is it? 5 and 7. Oh no, you have to write the 7 first. No, you don't. Be quiet. I read from left to right. I don't read from right to left. I don't read right to left. So I put the 5 first. Well, how can you do? You just follow the directions. The outside and inside. The largest number has to be what? Well, what is this? Largest number has to be what? Negative. What's larger, 7Z or 5Z?
7.
What does this say? Like or unlike? So that means that has to be negative. All right, you do the bottom. So if you can't do the bottom after I did the top, you're a double failure. And you should not only quit school, you should probably quit your job and live in a box in the ditch. Because you are unworthy. You're old, unworthy to hold the hammer. And okay, I'm gonna say this, and to you Marvel fans out there, why is Hawkeye and Black Widow in the Avengers? Why? They're worthless.
Black Widow isn't worthless. Oh my gosh. She's
She
like.
shoots a 9mm at metal flying robots. Okay, now if she's going to go out and get criminals, that's fine. Is she an Avenger? No. She's not an Avenger. She needs to get her a metal suit or something, or put some wings on her or something, or she shoots a 9mm gun and swings around and does the flying headlock on people. She is not an Avenger. And Hawkeye is stupid, okay?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what's worse, shooting bullets at Ultrons or shooting a bow and arrow at Ultron. Which one bullet could kill both of them. So why are they an Avenger? I watched that the other night with my son. He wanted to watch it for the 15,000th time. And I'm like, and he gets mad at me because he's like, he agrees with me. He says they're not Avengers. He says they're kind of like just on the coattails of the Avengers. I said, yeah, they are. And I'm just like, whatever. My favorite Avenger is probably, I got 3. Iron Man, Hulk, but I don't like the Banner guy. I don't like him at all. I don't like, he's a nut. I like Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor. That's my 3 favorites. I got some opinions on Captain America, but I cannot voice them out. But I will say he needs a girlfriend bad. They said that they were going to try to make him have a boyfriend. And the old guy, who's the old guy that's in the guy that made Marvel?
Stan Lee.
He's in each one. He said, "Hell to the no." And I think Hollywood had a fit over him saying that. But he needs one of them. He needs a girlfriend or a boyfriend or both. Captain America needs a little help. All right. And what other one is there? That's it, isn't it? There's Thor.
And Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's cool. I like Spider-Man because I love his aunt.
His aunt?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I love his aunt. Marissa Tomei. Oh. All right, so what do you do with 30? Well, 1 and 30, that'll give you a 31 or a 29. Okay, 2 and 15 will give you a 17 or a 13. 2 and 15, what else? 3 and 10 will give you a 13 or a what? 7. 3 and 10. 4, 5 and 6. I'll give you 11 or what? 42. It'll give you 11 or a 1. So 5 and 6. What do we need? We need a positive, so that means the largest of the 6Z or the 5Z has to be positive. Which one's bigger?
6.
What does this mean? Like or unlike?
Unlike.
So what goes out?
Minus 5.
X minus 5s. And you feel good about yourself. So the answer is Z minus 7 over Z plus 6. Question? You'll find that, no, I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to put 3, 4. Some of y'all don't even know who Marissa Tomei is. I don't say her last name right because it's weird spelled. I want to say Tomei, but I don't think that's right either. All right, 3. What's her name? Aunt Peg or Aunt? What's Spider-Man's aunt's name? Aunt
May.
Aunt May, that's it. I kind of agree with Tony Stark on that one. All right, so 3 and 3. Let's see what they got. Z minus 7 over Z plus 6. You feel good about yourself. Next one. That takes care of that one. Now we've got number 47, number 18. So far, all of these are good review test questions. Okay, let's hit that one. I think we did one like that one. I'm not sure. That might have been in 109. I can't remember. If you can't see it, over in Pendleton and Oconee, it's 4 over 3A plus 2 over 5A plus 7 over A. Yeah, I like the new Spider-Man compared to the old. I don't like. I never did like Tobey Maguire. I never did like him. I like the new guy, whoever. I don't even know what his name is.
What, Star Wars?
Hmm?
What, Star Wars?
Yeah, I'm a Star Trek fan more than a Star Wars fan. I like Star Trek. I like the New Generation. You know, I wish it still came on. You like New Generation? Not many
Yes,
people
sir.
do. I wish it would still come on, but it don't anymore.
No.
Hmm?
Star Wars one.
Yeah.
I've never-
Yeah, I've seen all the Star Wars movies, and when I was young, they came out. I went to see them, but I never did get into Star Wars.
Lord of the Rings.
Huh?
Lord of the Rings.
No, I'm not into any of that stuff. I'm not into Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I don't care nothing about that
I don't
stuff.
like Harry Potter, but I like Lord of the Rings.
I don't like any of that stuff. And then we can talk about horror movies, and then I can really talk.
What's your favorite one?
I don't have a favorite, but I'll tell you, I like Conjuring, and I can't wait to see The Nun. I like the Conjuring films because they're very, very scary, and I think The Nun is going to be very scary. I like Annabelle.
Yeah.
Annabelle was good. The Creation was good. Don't get into the Insidious, those where you have to go into a dream or go into. Those are a little bit too confusing. But I like possessions, haunted houses. And I
Yeah.
love paranormal activity. I could watch paranormal type
Yes.
Oh gosh, I love those movies.
Yeah.
And I like those type movies. Those really, really scary. I like jump scare movies.
When ghosts, cheaper.
Huh?
You believe in ghosts?
Demons. Yeah, I believe in demons. There's a difference.
Yeah.
So, I believe there's people out there that are demonic. Yeah, I believe that. And my other favorite is Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock, yeah. I've got every Sandra Bullock movie. Marissa Tomei and Sandra Bullock. There we go. You can figure out the pattern there.
How old is she now?
I don't know. Both of them, I think, are about the same age. My Cousin Vinny, one of my favorite movies. Two youths. The two what? The two youths. What's a youth? The two youths. All right, so what is the common denominator of 3, 5, and 8? Well, you go over here and you say, okay, let's say you don't know how to find a common denominator. 3 and 5. Use your 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. That's your prime numbers that you use. Okay, 3 will go in there one time. You want all ones on the bottom. So 5 will go down. 5, this will come down, and 1. So you got your 1, so this is your common denominator, 15. 15A, 15A, 15A. 3A will go into 15A how many times? 5 times 4 is 20. 5A will go into 15A 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. A will go into 15A 15 times. 15 times 7, dang old 105. Somebody check. $105 plus 20 is $125. 125 plus 6 is 131. So your answer is 131 over 15A. And you feel good about yourself. No yawning in class. I see that, Pendleton. Did y'all hear about the computer technology teacher that said if you yawn 3 times, he'd throw you out of class? They only lasted 1 semester. They fired them. We've had some real dumb teachers up here, let me tell you. We had one teacher that was a speech teacher that decided to show a porn flick in the middle of speech class. Maybe he was trying to promote confidence. I don't know.
Did they make it to the end of the semester?
No, he got pretty much canned the week of. In other words, he showed it on Monday and he was gone by Friday with security escort. And then we had one history teacher that decided he'd just bring a red Solo cup to work every morning. And he would refill it at 10 o'clock, and he would refill it at 12 o'clock, and about 2 o'clock he was slurring his speech.
History, though, we do that too.
I don't know. Man, if I even talked about drinking, somebody would complain to my department head, and I'd get a call. Yeah, Hubert, I got a call that you talked about drinking. But some of these cats, they can come up here with a daggum red Solo cup, and it takes them 3 weeks to figure it out. And then we had one Spanish teacher. You know, if you're going to do something against the rules or something unethical, don't you think you ought to lock your door in your office? That's all I'm going to say. There are real stupid people out there. If I'm going to do something unethical or something against Tri-County Tech, I think I will get off campus to do it, you know, whether it's sell drugs or whatever. I think I will do it off campus. Some of these people, they have driver's license and they procreate. They're just really stupid. I mean, y'all can probably think of some people that you work with that are just as dumb. All right, what do we get? 135 over what? 130 what? 131 over 15A. Nice work. I would put, this is an easy problem. You ain't doing really anything. That's what I would put on there. Try something harder. You suck. I would love to be able to program those things. I would get fired the first week. Wouldn't y'all love to do that? Oh yeah, Pendleton don't talk. I forgot. This is our last one. R451/19. Okay, this is a adding fractions. Now we're going to go back a little bit in time and go back to the first grade or third, fourth grade, whichever, I don't know. Probably teach it in 12th grade now. 1/3 plus 2 over 7. What happens when you can't find a common denominator of 3 and 7? You just multiply them together. But instead of multiplying them together, I'm just going to put them beside each other and put a multiplication symbol in them, okay? I'm going to say, okay, 3 times 7 is our common denominator. How many times will 3 go into 3 times 7? 7 times 1 is 7. 7 will go into 3 times 7. How many times? 3 times 2 is 6. 7 plus 6 is 13 over 21. All right, now I want you to look at that, and I want you to look at what I'm doing now and tell me what the difference is. There is no difference. Is there anything in common with z plus 5 and z minus 8? No. So you're going to write the common denominator as z plus 5, z minus 8, and you're going to do exactly what I did over here. So I'm going to go z minus 2 over z plus 5 plus z plus 5 over z minus 8. So the common denominator is z plus 5 times what? Z minus 8. All right, now use what I did over here. Use this as a template for this. Now you might have to use the FOIL method, but it's the same process. Don't make it difficult. So when does the next Avengers come out?
I think, I think it might be next year.
Well, have you noticed in the last Avengers they didn't have Hawkeye? They didn't have one of the Avengers. Evidently, his bow and arrow wasn't able to spring open like in one of the. That was so stupid. And then he did in one episode in Ultron, or was it Ultron? No, might have been no. It was in the Civil War. It turned into a staff. He could turn his bow and arrow into a staff. So, yeah, against robots. All right, so z plus 5 will go into this how many times? Z minus 8 times, Hubert. That's right, class. Z minus 8 times Z minus 2. Z minus 8 times Z minus 2. How many times will Z minus 8 go in here? Z plus 5, Hubert. That's right, class. And Z plus 5 times Z plus 5. Hey, that's shortcut number 1. So that's going to be Z squared plus what? 25? No. Yeah. 25, right? 25Z.
Wouldn't it be plus
No,
10?
10Z, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
10Z plus 25 on there. Z plus 5 times Z minus 8. And then over here, we've got Z squared minus 2Z minus 8Z is minus 10Z. And then plus what? And then plus all this. Now go ahead. What happens to the 10Z's? They cancel. Good job. Y'all are awake. They cancel. And Z squared plus Z squared is what? 1 can of OIL plus 1 can of OIL is what?
2 cans.
2 cans of OIL. Pronounce it however you'd like. And 16 plus 25 is what? 41? Y'all check my math. Z plus 5 times Z minus 8. Is that 41 correct?
Yeah.
And now let's check our answer. Oh, is that the answer?
You have
Yeah.
to add the 2.
Oh, okay. That's what they put as the answer. They did a very common mistake there. Z squared plus Z squared is Z squared. A lot of people say, well, that's not a very common. Oh, yes, it is. I see that a lot. Fantastic. Not that good. Probably wasn't that hard. And that's that one. I've got one here from 1.1. I'm going to look at it, and if not for here, at least for the online class. This is 1.1, number 85 slash, no, this is the one I sent myself. I don't need that. So delete that one. And that's all the online homework questions we have today. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you homework to keep working on. So I'm going to take the roll, and then y'all can pretty much go home today, because I'm going to let y'all keep working on that homework. Because I know some of y'all still haven't got logged on yet.
Wait, are you serious?
I'll have people the first, before I give the first unit test, they're going to say, oh, I ain't logged on yet. These are the same people that make 25s on the homework. What's today? 29th?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to call the Pendleton, and Miss White, you can go ahead. I got you since you're the only person here. And Baker,
Here.
Batista,
Here.
Kane,
Here.
Chasen, Herrero,
Here.
Leapart,
Here.
Vinci,
Here.
Shuttleworth,
Here.
Stallworth,
Here.
and Storm.
Here.
Anybody's name I didn't call in Pendleton? What's your last name? Spell it.
K-I-N-A-R-D.
K-I-N-A-R-T. And first name?
Shania, S-H-A-N-I-Y-A.
And you entered, today's your first day?
No, I entered last Wednesday.
Okay, last Wednesday, which would be what? That would be here. Were you here Monday?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and today. All right? And Anderson campus. Bays is here. Crocker. Flat.
Here.
Goolsby. Hagen is here. Hawthorne. is here. Cahaley. Laney.
Here.
Darren. Dalton. Peel. And Radford. Okay, he's on the map on the left. Okay, who's got questions for me?
What sections do you want?
I have a question.
You should be doing review, and you can probably start on the next section, which is 1.1 or? Yeah, 1.1 and 1.2. You should be working on those right now. And I'm gonna fill y'all out on 1.1 and 1.2, and then I'll start teaching a little bit as soon as I start seeing where y'all are bogging down.
Okay, so do we need to do 1.2 homework?
I would suggest just work on review 1.1 and 1.2, and then we'll get together Wednesday and see what we need to do next.
Okay.
Okay, so you should be working on orientation, review 1.1 and 1.2.
Okay.
But don't feel bad if you can't do 1.2 or 1.1. Don't feel bad because we're going to go over it, okay? Send questions. Y'all have a good weekend.